Hello, Matt Elliott here.
Hi, Alan Smith here.
Hey guys, Ian Hume here.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here.
Be sure to watch
Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV
For all the latest Leicester City news and information.
You can also subscribe on YouTube and various social media channels.
for the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Come on, you foxes!
Happen in 49, 61, 63 or 69 when they reach the final. But the class of 2021 have delivered. Leicester City are FA Cup winners at last and are history makers at Wembley.
They have blown their rivals away. They have blown us all away in truth. Premier League champions 2016. The amazing Leicester City!
Till I Die TV, your first choice for everything Leicester City. Tune in and join in now.
Right, Chris.
Do you know what? I actually am all right. How are you? Hello there. It's Leicester Till I Die TV. We've started a bit early because I'm going to go off and have a drink afterwards and celebrate. I need something to calm my nerves. I've got a heart problem. And I tell you what, that match did nothing for my heart at all. But we just beat Rennes. Indeed, it's Leicester Till I Die TV. We are on YouTube at Leicester Till I Die TV. Please get over and like the video, share it, and also give us a subscribe if you can. And thank you very much if you are listening on the podcast on all the major platforms. It went to another. I found one today, and I hadn't even heard of it. And our podcast was on it. We're all over the place. Well, no, let me keep it clean. Let me keep it clean and bring somebody else in and bring Daniel in. Good evening, Daniel. How the devil are you, sir?
I'm all right, Chris. How are you?
I'm all right. I tell you, this is how good I am.
Yes! 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 Oh! 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 Oh, God. Oh. I'll have what she's having.
Maybe I've not had it for that long, but it's almost as good as that. I mean, what? Rennes, good evening. How the devil are you? You said he'd score, and his score he did come back and do. And oh God, I'm still like, did I just sit through that? I mean, I thought the referee had a good game, and then he went and added 6 minutes on. I mean, where the hell did that come from at the end?
Crazy, wasn't it? I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. I thought, well, there's not been that many injuries.
No, I mean, the longest one was probably to the ref, wasn't it? You know, but
yeah.
I'm going to say two things here, because for those of you that know me well and have listened to me of recent, you'll know that I've not always been impressed with Brendan's substitutions. I'm going to say on this occasion, I know he was allowed 5. Or Brighton, had to go off. Let's hope he's going to be all right. No more injuries, please. But he brought Lookman on, which was a positive move. He brought Vestergaard on and took Fofana off. And you said, and I looked at my son, we were watching, we went like, oh. But, it was 70, I think it's 70 odd minutes. And he'd done well, I think, to get that far. I could understand why he did it. And
the last time he brought Vestergaard, I think I walked out of the stadium just as the other team, I think, was it Spurs? Was it Spurs who equalised when he brought him on? Can't remember the game. It was a home game anyway.
I think it was West Ham, wasn't it? Yeah,
West Ham. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that was it.
Yes. I mean, they're just absolutely, but like I say, credit where credit's due to him. Brendan, I think, got it right. Vestergaard, he did what he had to do. You know,
I mean, maybe there's a footballer in there somewhere. I just haven't seen much evidence of it yet. But
yes, he's hiding very well. He's hiding very well. Yes, Rennes, I think he got elbowed. I think it was by one of our players, to be honest with you, which I thought was a bit unfair because he'd had a good game.
He ran into Rennes player, I think.
Yes, he did. No, you're quite right. You're quite right. Yeah, probably at that time I was actually watching it through. Like I say, I watch it like Daka, you know, like through that. What's going on? But,
well, I actually missed about the first 5 minutes. I actually tuned in just as they scored. I thought, oh shit, should I be?
Well, your fault then.
yeah. But,
I mean, it was.
They actually responded pretty well to the goal, didn't they? Really.
I mean, I think you knew that's how they were going to come at it. You know, they were 2-0 down. They're at home. Credit to their crowd as well. They were absolutely. They really got behind the team.
Fantastic, weren't they? I could hear them all game.
You know, I mean, you know, our players shouldn't be intimidated. They played at Atletico Madrid and these sort of places, but it was a hell of an atmosphere. So well done to Rennes for that. I mean, first of all, like I say, it is very easy for us to sort of criticise the referees. I thought he had a very decent game because there was no VAR and it flowed so much better.
Mm.
I mean,
it went really quick the first half. Second half didn't. So
no.
Second half seemed to want to go frigging on forever. But,
it did, but I'm just thinking, you know, like, all right, man, you know, I mean, would that handball have got looked at? You know, would the penalty have got looked at? You just, as my son said, if you've got to look at something for that long, like they did with the match the other day, then it's not clear and obvious mistake. But
Kieran Dewsbury's on his way down from jumping up to challenge for the ball, and the other guy's headed it down. He's not even looking at the ball, and it's hit his arm. For me, that's not handball. It's got to be deliberate to be handball. I mean, that's just just an accident, isn't it? I mean, if you're going to give that, I mean, you might as well just forget the game. The game's gone if that's handball for me. But,
it is. And when Vestergaard was on, I mean, I'm so glad that he didn't handball it, but he actually was getting his hand out the way anyway.
Yeah,
he was on the floor, for God's sake, you know. That's what happened, Rennie, there. 2-3. It was 2-1 to them at full time. And we got, we came out on top. Makes a change. We needed a bit of luck, didn't we? I think...
God knows we haven't had any.
No, we haven't. No, somebody's been having our luck. I mean, that was the team. What did you think of the team when it was announced?
I thought I wasn't too disheartened with it. I think it's probably as strong a team as we could have put out there.
Yes.
Obviously, was Daka's boy, isn't it?
I know. I was looking. I'm looking. Where's Daka? Where's Daka? Yeah, Daka and Soyuncu were ill, but it's not COVID apparently.
All right. Okay. Well, I wasn't disappointed to see Soyuncu outside, to be honest, because he's had a really bad season.
Yes.
The guy, there's talk of him wanting to go to Barcelona. To be honest, I think Amarty's got a better chance of going to Barcelona than he has.
Yes. I was saying the other day because I was saying, please don't drop Amarty just because Fofana's coming back. And I get the fact that you'd have to put Amarty back in, of course. I get that 100%. But I just think it would have been unfair because I think Amarty's been the better player than Soyuncu this season. And, let's face it, we never thought we'd be saying that last season, did we?
I mean, he's been a great servant to the club this season. Amarty. I mean, he's not the greatest defender. I mean, let's be honest, but
No.
I mean, what he lacks in skill, he certainly makes up for an effort, doesn't he? So you can't fault the guy's effort.
Yes.
It's just,
yeah.
you know.
Totally. And I mean, looking at that, as I said, I thought, oh, here we go, Daka. Perez, and we'll just hit on Perez because he's going in the summer, isn't he? I mean, he's not had a game in about 10 games. He's on the suspension. You know.
Hopefully Newcastle will buy him back.
Their fans don't want him, unfortunately. But no.
I think they'll have bigger fish to fry, won't they now?
Yeah. That Rennie says there, Amati and Fofana, they did link up very well. And of course, Soyuncu's more the left-sided defender. And Fofana went over onto that side. But I was pleased, like I say, because Amati has been good, as was Mendy last season when we needed him. But yeah, I think Perez, like I say, we're not even seeing him now. You know, it would have to be. You're thinking where? Well, we're going to have to be sort of down to about 9 men, and somebody have to come off injured before we see Perez.
It's strange, really, because he was kind of like Rodgers' darling, wasn't he? Really, at one point, he was like always playing him, and he was shite.
He was.
Thinking like, why are you playing him?
Yes, I mean, if you just say like Peter Taylor, Junior Lewis. Brendan Rodgers, Perez.
But you know what we all see. He doesn't bring a lot to the table. I mean, in fairness to him, he has had 1 or 2 good games for us. You know, and he has got good feet, and you know, but he just doesn't bring it to the table enough, does it?
He doesn't, and I guess Leicester fans like to have somebody to pick on, and it was Chilwell before he left, but. I get it. He just doesn't. I think once you got it in your mind that somebody's not brilliant, then you know it kind of sticks there, no matter or what they do. But
I think he's kind of a luxury player, isn't he? I mean, he doesn't.
Oh, yes.
He's not around, and then he pops up and does something really skillful, and then he goes absent for a long time.
Yes,
you know, he doesn't offer a great deal defensively in work rate, does he? Really? Let's be honest.
I think Brendan's bought him because he saw him as a defensive attacker. You know, he was like the first line of defence.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. Enough said there.
I think with Dewsbury Hall coming into the side, I think that's stopped the likes of Perez getting a game. I mean, he's been absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
And he was great again tonight, wasn't he?
He didn't have a brilliant night tonight, I didn't think, Dewsbury Hall, but
I don't know.
He did what was asked of him.
I mean, he robbed the ball off one of their midfielders and put Nacho through to Barnes should have scored.
Yes.
He put himself about a bit. He took a booking for the team. I thought he did all right, to be fair.
Yes. Spencer says, what time is the draw tomorrow? I thought it was 2:00, Keith. Good evening, Keith. How are you? I thought it was
someone's just put 1:45.
Yes, yeah. No, I think it's 2, but I could be wrong. We will be doing a live stream of the draw, guys. Anyway, whatever time it's on. So just bookmark it. It's in the upcoming shows on the channel list. Like I said earlier, we knew their game plan. They were 2-0 down, and thank God for Nacho's second goal in the first leg. My God, how valuable did that prove to be? Welcome, by the way, Nippon as well. How the devil are you? Rio's good evening. 2-1 on the night, 2-3 to Leicester overall. Nacho's goal in the first leg was worth its weight in gold. When they scored after 8 minutes, that was the perfect start for them, you know. I mean, and we knew they'd come, and we said before the crowd was getting behind them. It was a great atmosphere. I don't think I wanted to play in it, but they did what we thought they'd do, and I mean, they won't mind. It wasn't exactly I don't even think he knew what he was doing. I think it just kind of hit him and went in.
Yeah. Couldn't really miss, could you, for that one, really?
No.
I thought it was a bit poor placement by Justin. He seemed to like step out and then get caught in two minds.
Yeah,
and obviously missed the opportunity of cutting the cross out. Then he was too far away from his man. But But yeah, it was a bit poor defending, really. But never
Yeah.
mind. He's still going to be a bit rusty, and it's good to see him back, man.
Well, this is it. This is the thing, isn't it? You can't expect. I mean, the fact that I was impressed that, like, say, Fofana as well did 77 minutes. When these players come in, you can't just throw them in, especially in a game like this. We needed him, and if you can get 60 minutes out of him, that was good. But at that point, I'm thinking, here we go. This is Leicester. We're 1-0 down after 8 minutes, but I thought we responded very well.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we could have done what we did against Forest, couldn't we? And capitulated, and thrown the game away, and at that point. But thank God we didn't, and they dug in and frustrated them.
Yeah.
And,
Oh God, yes, we did. And the longer it went on, so I was dreading, obviously, what are Leicester good at, and that's conceding just before half time.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
we never make it easy, do we?
Oh well, the commentator said that, and we don't. That's Leicester. But we managed to get to half time, and we said that in the second half, they've got to be careful because they've really got to get that second goal. The onus is on them. And whilst we don't want to be defending for long periods, although we were, and it was, they were throwing the kitchen sink at us, but we always had that option to hit them on the break, didn't we?
Second half, I thought, it was all Leicester, and up until they scored. I mean, when they scored, it was kind of against the run of play, really, for me. I thought we were playing really well that second half. I think we bossed it. And when I think that at that point, I think they'd only had 2 shots and they scored from both of them.
Yes.
But then obviously once they got that second goal, then obviously that they really were pushing and we were hanging on, really, weren't we?
But, unbelievably so. Yes. I mean, we'll look at the sort of the stats in a minute. But yeah, Spencer Fofana was great. He was. I mean, Rennes says, why did Lookman come off for Ricardo? I think that was just tactical, to be honest with you. Terry says here, do you think Barnes is getting a bit selfish? And then Keith said, Barnes is an old-fashioned greedy player at times, just needs to learn to see the bigger picture. But he said, I don't know. He said, I'm torn here. You guys, it's your opinion and you're very entitled to it. And I respect that. But, there was a time when people were saying, oh, look, Barnes needs to add goals to his play. He needs to add goals. He's not going to add goals if he doesn't have the shots. And, he should have scored that one.
It's like if you don't buy a ticket for the lottery, you ain't going to win it, are you? I mean,
exactly.
He got to, I mean, it wasn't a bad effort that where he dragged it and just a little bit wide. And I think it may have taken a little bit of a deflection, but it wasn't far away. And I wouldn't take that away from him. He could have squared it to Maddison, but who's to say Maddison would have got on the end of it? But
exactly.
He's gone close for me, so I don't want him to stop doing that.
Because I think I always say the best form of defense is attack. And I mean, we didn't have that pace. I mean, when Kieran Dewsbury Hall broke away with it once, he didn't quite have the pace to break away. No. We'd got no Vardy, we'd got no Daka. We were kind of relying on Barnes for that pace, weren't we?
Yeah. I mean, people don't say that of Vardy, do they? When he breaks and runs into the box and lashes it into the bottom corner. Are we want to stop Vardy from having a go and want him to square it to people?
Yeah,
but
I get that. Yes, I do get that. It's hard because I've noticed since I started doing these shows that even when you win, you're kind of looking for faults to talk about. But
we're never satisfied, are we?
Well, no, we are not. That is so true. But I'm just going to say, I mean, Savage was the co-commentator, and I thought he had a good, I've always found him to be very, very fair. To be honest with you, I know a lot of people don't like him. But you can't stand it. No, I wouldn't say he's certainly not anti-Leicester when he's doing his commentary. But
he's not.
No. We had
it just states the obvious for me.
Don't they all? They all? Michael Owen, he's going to get wet if it rains. Well, yeah, well done, Michael. We all know that. But I mean, the classic I think today was Danny Simpson at half time saying that he would bring Daka on.
Yeah, when he was ill.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, whether he
Yeah.
knew something we didn't, but Daka wasn't in, and I'm thinking like, and Sean looked at me, my son. He went, "Don't they do homework, Dad?" You know, and it's like, well, you think they'd have it in front of them, wouldn't you? You know,
You would. Yeah.
But yeah, I hope indeed he isn't injured as well, Rennie. I really do.
I think it looked like an impact injury. I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, yes, I think he will. I think he did the right thing in coming off again. It's not worth risking. And then, of course, not long into the second half, we did to them what they did to us, and you know, we got the goal. And at that point, we were, I think, bossing the game. You know, we'd come out, and you know, we were certainly the stronger team. But what a header by Fofana!
That's couldn't write that, could you? Been out for 8 months, then coming back to put us into a quarter final with fantastic.
Yes,
from a corner. Which
I know exactly. Yes, I mean, good God, you know, what you know, Jesus, what have you done to us? You've given us a corner and let us have a goal, and just to see it from a different angle. There we go. And look of concentration on his face. I mean, I did say to my son that I was really hoping that he didn't get injured again. Which is obviously always the risk, but B, there's so much weight on his shoulders that when Fofana comes back, we will be fine. You know, people are kind of expecting us to go now and challenge for the Premier League. It ain't going to happen, you know. And he came back, and it was like he'd never been away.
No, I mean, I think when he surprised everybody when his recovery, I think he had a bit of a setback. But initially, they thought he was going to be back much quicker than he actually is. But I think he had a bit of a setback, didn't he? But you know, the guy's attitude is like exemplary, isn't it? You know what I mean? To go through what he's been through, and to come back as strong as he has, he's only going to get back. He's only going to get better and get back to his usual self pretty damn quick. I would imagine. And
of course, he's just signed a new contract, which is great. I mean, it absolutely is.
It bodes well, doesn't it? I mean, him signing a contract, James Justin, Pereira.
Yeah. I mean, Tillemans. Come on, look at who's staying. Yeah. You got to want to stay with that, you know. Yeah. But to be honest,
I'm not that worried about if Tillemans does want to go, because you don't want a player who don't want to be here, do you?
No, I mean, no.
I think it's kind of a luxury player as well. I mean, he's a great player, don't get me wrong, but
yes,
I mean, he's another one that goes absent a bit for me.
He can, but I mean, a lot of people have sort of questioned his dedication and commitment to the team, but since all this has come out, but when you see him, and he was having a joke, I forget. God, you can tell I've had a few tonight. When we played at the weekend, not this weekend, when we played Leeds, I think it was, and somebody stole his celebration and his look on his face, and he's giving it his all. And I understand he wants to play at the top level, and I understand he's waiting until the summer to see which teams are going to be in Champions League and which aren't. So I do get it, but he may be looking and thinking, well, hang on, all these other guys are signing. Let's see what Leicester and who Leicester are going to sign in the summer, and see where we go from there. So, I get it totally. I really do. At the moment, the only other English team that's playing tonight, which is West Ham, they've got one up against Seville, so it's 1-1. They're trying to do a Leicester and be only the second team to ever beat Seville in Europe.
But that was in the Champions League.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Yeah, they're only doing it in the Europa. What's that?
I don't know if you caught it, Chris, but they did a cheeky thing on their social media when they were playing Seville for the first leg. They put a Leicester was here at the bottom of this post. I don't know if you saw it.
No.
But yeah. Because obviously they're still in the Europa League and we're in the Conference League, the Europa Conference. They put Leicester was here at the bottom. I thought it was a bit of a cheeky dig.
Yes, it might come back and bite them on the bum. That, yes, you know. But hey, banter. I get it. I get it. We then let them back in, didn't we? And boy, did we let them back in, and they got. Excuse me, they got the second goal on the 75th minute, and you couldn't really say that it wasn't coming.
No, they're a good side. I mean, they're really dangerous. I mean, they can pass it, and they've got great movement. I think quite like their style of play, to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they played well when they came to King Power. To be fair.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean, you know, when you look at them, I mean, they're fifth or something in League One in France. They've only 2 goals or something less than PSG, and look who they've got playing for them in the goal scoring.
They beat PSG 2-0, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
At home, yeah.
But when you look at the teams that are still in it, if we'd gone out against Rennes, I don't think we could have. You know, we wouldn't have hung our head in shame. Say if we'd lost to Lask, you know, or this Bodo, whatever they are in Norway. But you know, they were a good side, Rennes, and they proved that. They proved that, like I say, coming back to us, coming back at us. My God. After that second goal went in, I mean, I was actually quite relaxed and enjoying it, and we were sort of having a bit of banter between me and my son, and then they scored, and we were like, we both realised we were both sat on the edge of the sofa, so you know, just like nails digging into our hands.
Yeah. I think if they had got that third goal, I think we'd have struggled because the substitutions they'd made was quite negative.
Yeah,
and I don't think we'd have threatened much. It was, you know, the momentum would have gone to them, I think, in extra time. So it's just as well we hung on in there.
Oh, definitely, yes, definitely. And you know, I think, you know, when you're on the up and it goes, that's obviously always going to be favourites. Right, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night. I'll cover all the angles.
That was a save.
Oh, he keeps doing them, doesn't he? He can't kick a ball for love nor money, you know.
Yeah.
My grandma used to be able to kick balls straighter than that, but you know, you forgive him. You forgive him because at least he is kicking them out now and not messing about in the back. But my God, when you need him and when you need him to pull off a save, then you know he's going to do it.
When we won the Premier League, I do recall him doing a few kicks where he played it out and Maris took it down and played Vardy, and a few times, you know, his kicking was really good that season.
Right.
But, where's that gone?
well, yes, but then I think everything was working for us that season, wasn't it? Yeah. You know, it did get a little bit fraught at times, shall we say. Terry says here, instead of extra time, we nearly got a boxing match at the end. I tell you what, we actually played them at their own game because they'd been going down for absolutely everything. You know, if one of our players ran past one of theirs and he farted and their player fell over, they'd be shouting for a foul. And I kind of thought towards the end, we were playing it quite sweetly and we were playing them at their own game, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we were certainly spoiling their rhythm.
Yes.
Going down, pretending to have cramp and, you know, that, you know, those little tricks. But
my son kept turning to me and went, when Madison did that, I went, Madison knows what he's doing.
The thing is that sometimes I just wish we'd just run it into the corner.
Yes.
Like, you know, give the bloody ball back to him and you're thinking, like, why? Just fucking run right into the corner.
I think Barnes had one towards the end, and I'm like, run it into the corner now. Just leave it there, and don't, you know. But no, he tried to play a ball through, and I mean, had it got through, and that's the thing that I kind of does annoy me. Whether it's just luck or not, but it's always that final ball never quite gets to where it should do.
Does it? No, and opposition teams always seem to find that ball, don't they?
Yes. Indeed. I actually, talking of opposition keepers, this was their third choice. He was 19 years old. He was their third choice keeper. And again, I was talking with my son and we were saying, why why weren't we testing him? You know, we should have been having pot shots at him from every angle, not try and get in really close. But if you got that ball on, maybe we didn't have the players on the pitch to do that, but we should have been testing him because we were just letting him get into the game and get his confidence up.
Yeah. He did make a decent save, I think, from, was it Nacho? Where he parried it out. And or was it Lookman? I can't remember. But he did make a half decent save. And I think he palmed it out and it fell to Nacho and he couldn't quite take it down. But yeah, I think he made a couple of decent saves during the game. But, yeah, you're right. You should have tried to.
We should have been testing him. Yeah,
we didn't seem to have any sort of possession on the edge of their box, did we? Really? Well, so we didn't really have the opportunity, really, did we?
Problem is,
sort of counter-attacking moves, weren't they? Rather than sort of.
But I think when you looked at it, every time we got into their sort of edge of their box, literally every one of their players was back anyway. It was, it was like 11-0-0. Sorry, 10-0-0 when they were defending and 0-0-10 when they were attacking. It worked for them, but. Yes, at 2-1. And can you tell me where 6 minutes of injury time came from?
Pass. I do not know where that came from. I think Alex Ferguson must have been the fourth official.
Yes. I looked at it and thinking like 6 because I don't know. My son said, well, maybe we thought it'd be more than 3 at half time. But you can't, if you don't add enough on in the first half, you can't add it onto the second half, or can you?
No, I don't know. I don't know the rules in that.
No, I don't. You know, I had to do when I used to train with my son's team, and I had to do the FA Part 1 coaching course, which is basically enthusiastic dad stage. And I was reading, and I thought I read something there, but. As I said, I could be wrong, but I didn't think you could. But we should have really tested him, I think, on that.
Yeah.
But and then you look at the if I can just bring it up here, look at the stats for the game, and you look in there. I mean, possession, that means nothing. We know that, don't we?
Yeah.
68% to them, but the shots. They certainly made up for it in those last 15 odd minutes, didn't they? It was the longest 15 minutes of my life, you know.
I think it's just as Leicester fans. I mean, there weren't really any clear-cut chances, were there? Really, apart from the save from Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, I think that was that and the goal was the only.
There was some frantic defending.
Oh my God! Wasn't there just? I mean, the commentator said, I forgot what he said now. I forgot what I was going to say, but he said something. The commentator
didn't he say we're our own worst enemies? Which we are, aren't we? I mean,
we are. No, yes, he did. That was it. That was it. He said at that point they'd only had 2 shots on goal, and they were on Rennes, and it was 2 goals. But they certainly made up for that at the end. And the 12 shots to them to 10 for us. You would expect it, like I say, with the way the game was going. They were we were throwing bodies in the way, weren't we? Terry says here, what wound me up, the commentator kept saying we were through to the next round, then they scored. Well, hey, that's all. You know, I was sort of saying, please don't let a goal in just before half time, because we know we do that quite a bit. And I thought, I'm not going to say it. And then Robbie Savage said it. I'm like, no, you cursed it now, you know. I mean, those are the main sort of stats that count. But at the end, and the substitutions.
It's the Leicester way, isn't it?
It is the Leicester way. It is the Leicester way. We're going to talk substitutions straight. We'll just have I think we deserve one of these, to be honest with you. Yes, couldn't you just? I mean, I'm here on my pop, but as soon as I come off here, I tell you what, I'm going to have one. I'm going to have one.
Why not?
Yeah, I questioned Brendan's tactics against Arsenal when we were 2-0 down. The fact I don't think he should have been putting all his baskets, as important as this game was, and I guess because it's the only way we're going to get into the Europa League next season. It was very, very important, but I just didn't, and I just think at 2-0 down, when you're replacing two defensive players with two defensive players, you're not changing anything at all. You're just hoisting the white flag up. And had we not got through today, that really could have bit him on the bum. Okay, he's got a couple of injuries there, all Brighton, which he shouldn't have. But somebody said earlier, I'm not sure who it was in the comments, sort of, maybe he shouldn't have played against Arsenal if he was going to play him today. He's giving younger players the rest, and yet he's expecting all Brighton to carry on. But he came off obviously quite early, 12 minutes. Indeed, is like you say, I think that's more of an impact change. But credit where credit's due. I think he got the subs right. I think we all sort of went Vestergaard, but who else was there on the pitch at on the subs bench? I mean, sorry, who else was on the subs bench that he could bring on? There wasn't anybody really.
I think that sub had to be made because Fofana needed to come off, didn't it?
He needed the rest. Yeah,
he was never going to play all game, was he? So.
No. I'm surprised. I expected him to come off after 60. If I'm honest with you, but Chowdhury was on the defense, on the subs bench. Honestly, this isn't anything alcoholic. I wish. You got Chowdhury. You got Piera. Piera came on afterwards anyway. But I think he made, Maddison coming on for Ndidi. We kind of went, oh, wow, really? Because that was not what you would think Rodgers would do, would you?
I think Dewsbury all dropped back into Ndidi's position there, didn't he?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, he's playing more of a defensive role.
Yeah, Terry
would suit him better.
Yes, and then let Maddison have a go and... we didn't get a free kick after he came on because we needed him for those free kicks and corners. Dewsbury wasn't having his best ones.
I don't know. I mean, didn't Dewsbury take the corner that Fofana scored from?
I'm not sure if I'm totally honest. If he did, I think it was the only. No, Lookman. Lookman took that corner.
Was he? All right.
Yeah. Because I remember, my son said, first corner Lookman takes, and he gets on the end of it. And then yes, Terry, I'll put my hand up to that, definitely. We all took a large intake of breath when we saw the big man standing there. But
guilty, guilty as charged.
Yeah, definitely. But he had a decent. I mean, he was only on with the extra time, the 6 minutes. He was probably on about about 15 minutes or so. He had an all right game. He got a couple of clearances in there. He didn't give away the penalty. He moved his hand out of the way. Yeah. I don't think you could blame because we said as soon as he was on, said, "Well, if we lose this now, that poor guy is going to get all the blame."
He should be called Bomb Scare, shouldn't he? Really? I mean, he's been really unfortunate in a way because he seems to have come on and caused calamity, doesn't he? But I think, like I said before, there's a player in there somewhere. I just don't see much evidence of it.
No.
But I'm not writing him off. I'm hoping there must be a player in there. He plays for Denmark, for Christ's sake. He's an international. So he's got to be half decent, hasn't he? But,
I honestly think that he's come in, and Brad says this a lot to me. I don't think Brendan necessarily planned on playing him as much as he's had to. He was brought in because Fofana's injury. So that he wasn't, we weren't planning on necessarily buying a central defender. And I think the fact that everything's just gone so wrong. He's not known who he's playing with 1 week to the next. He's not known what sort of defensive line, whether they're having 3 at the back, 5 or 4, and it was a case of who've we got, who's fit. Oh, there's 4, right, we can go 4 at the back then, and that's has really, I think, hurt him. And I think we should judge him more. And I've been as critical of him as much as the next man, but he's not done bad, funnily enough, in the European games against Randers. It wasn't the strongest test, I grant you, but let's give him next season when we settle down. Hopefully, we get the full team back and it goes. And then he substituted the substitute.
Yeah, I felt a bit sorry for him on that. I mean, that's not nice, is it?
It's not. And I remember, I think it was it Jose did it once, I think. Yeah. I mean, again, that was tactical because Lookman, I mean, Sean said, he hadn't particularly done much, but he set the goal up. He did have that threat, going forward. And I think it was just purely tactical. I think, he felt that Ricardo could probably give a little bit more. But
there was threats coming down that side. I think both goals had come from that side.
Yes, our left side was taking the pressure, definitely. But I mean, our left side. I mean, Thomas necessarily didn't have his best game, but when you got Thomas, Kieran Dewsbury Hall, and Harvey Barnes, they just fit together so well and played together so well. But we're through. That's the thing. That's the main thing at the end of the day. Now, the draw is tomorrow. It's the quarterfinals. I don't think Brendan's ever been this far in Europe before.
No.
I think this is the first. I think he's in uncharted territory. So just having a look who may be coming through to playing us.
It's Marseille, PSV, I think.
Let's have a look. So Leicester are through. Oh, the two named team are through. Bode Glimt from Norway. Do they have 24 players on because they've got 2 names? Hello. Marseille are through. They went through 2-4 on aggregate quite easily. Eindhoven, well, they went through 8-4 on aggregate. They absolutely.
Copenhagen.
Who we had in the Champions League not so long ago.
I think that was one of the questions I got wrong in that quiz last time.
Probably. Feyenoord. I mean, the 2-1 up against Partizan Belgrade, but it's 7-3 on aggregate with sort of 12 minutes to go. I think we can kind of work out that Feyenoord are through. Ghent and Salonika are 1 apiece. Salonika 2-1 over the 2 legs. Lasker out. They lost to Slavia Prague 3-7 on aggregate. Or it's still going on, but again, they're not going to come back. Roma and Vitesse are at 1-1. So Jose is not necessarily through. They're losing 1-0 in this leg. So apart from the Ghent, Salonika, Roma, Vitesse, we kind of know who we're going to do. Who would you fancy? I mean, I've always said, look at these things and think, I'd love an easy draw, and because it's the quarters and the semis that are being drawn tomorrow, so they're planning ahead. But
is there an easy game though?
Well, I mean, this is it. You would say not. It's a quarterfinal. When you look at those names, like you say, Copenhagen, Roma, Marseille, all Champions League clubs in the not too distant past. And Brad will kill me for saying this. He said, "Oh, you always quote this, but it's true. Wycombe Wanderers." They were like, I think the third tier. We were in the Premier League, and we got a home draw against the lowest team left in the FA Cup, and we got stuff. So you have to be careful what you wish for. I'm kind of fancying a revenge match against Slavia Prague.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It would if we win. It wouldn't if we don't. I do. Like you say, I think you want to try and avoid the big teams, but then if we draw, let's say, for example, Bode Glimt, whatever they're called, and they knock us out, it's kind of like a bit more embarrassing than Roma knocking us out, isn't it? But, There's no reason. I mean, what the lads did today is an amazing performance. I really do think so.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why it's a cup. They're cup games. There's no reason why we can't win this cup. We've won everything at home. It's about time we won something abroad, isn't it? There's nothing left for us to win in this country. But I just want to talking about the performance now. Alan Bennett usually does this for me. I must admit, my heart was saying for man of the match, first of all, Wesley Fofana, to come back to score his goal. But then I thought that Amati had a very good game as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, who would you have had as your man of the match?
I think you can't look further than Fofana, can you? Really?
No.
Yeah, you got to give it to him because how long he's been out and how well he was performed in the goal, haven't you? Really?
Yeah.
I thought if I've got to give it to somebody else, I would say Nacho for the way he led the line. I thought he was fantastic.
Totally excellent point there. And we haven't really spoken about Nacho, but what a good game he had. I mean, he did everything that was asked of him.
He holds the ball up so well and brings in the players around. I mean, there's quite a few occasions he really took the pressure off by just holding the ball, turning the player and releasing somebody else. And then
gets a foul quite often.
Yeah. And a number of occasions he got a foul, didn't he? So
yeah. And I think we have to look at it and go, well, all right, he's a striker, but he's not scored. And you kind of expect, he would get more stick for not scoring over a few games than, of course, Jamie Vardy would. But he does. He has. I mean, for a big guy, he has such a deft touch with his feet, doesn't he?
I really feel sorry for him because when Vardy was out last season, he went on quite a run, didn't he?
Yes.
And scored a lot of goals. Daka's come in, and he's not really had a look in this season, has he?
No.
And to be honest, Daka's not, for me, he's not really pulled up any trees recently while Vardy's been out. Nacho's, and he comes on and he scores. I'd like to see him, play more, to be honest with you.
I would love to see him and Vardy up front, but because it worked so well for us last season, but we haven't got the players, I don't think, fit that would suit that formation at the moment. But I agree totally with you. I mean, Daka, I think he's always going to get that little extra. He scored 4 goals in one game. That's always there. But no, I feel sorry for Iheanacho. And I hope he gets more time because I don't want him to leave. But I'm going to ask this of you because I haven't done this at all this season. But Alan normally is at the match when he gives me these, so he has a lot better view of what's going on than somebody watching it on the telly. He wasn't there today; he was watching it on the telly, and the stream that he had was up and down. He was half listening it on the radio, half watching it on a stream. And he came out and he gave the manager 6. Now, I thought that Brendan deserved more, to be honest with you.
It's a bit unkind, that, isn't it? Really.
I thought it was. I was interested to see what you thought because, like I say, when he makes bad substitutions, I'm the first one. I'll moan, as people know from the other week. I'll moan about him. But I thought he got his tactics and everything spot on. There was nothing more he could have done. Even bringing Vestergaard on when he did. I couldn't even blame him for that. I'd say, fair dues, Brendan. I get that this time. And he also gave the team 6.
Really?
Yeah. Now, I thought, and in fairness to him, he said, no, I'll go with what you've done because you've watched the full game without interruption. I've watched it on a stream that's gone down and I've had to listen to half the match rather than watch it. So I'll go with you. But I thought the players basically their bodies were on the line. I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it was a good enough performance to have got a 9, but
definitely a lot of effort.
Oh God, 100%. They were throwing themselves down in front of the ball. I mean, that at the end, it was like a rugby scrum. I don't think. I think the ball was under about 3 players, and when it came out, thankfully Yannick got his hand out the way. But they were just throwing the bodies on the line, and I said, I can't let that go through as a 6. Sorry, Alan, and no credit to him. Like I say, I said, well, you've seen it, but I think the team, for me, deserved an 8. What did you think?
Yeah, I think an 8's fair. I mean, I go along with that.
Yes. Yeah. Well, like I say, I don't think my heart can do this anymore. But we've got the draw tomorrow, whether it's at 1:45 or 2. Do check it out. I know I've got my program starts at about 2 because knowing UEFA as they do, it says it starts at 2. They'll start drawing the balls out about 2:30 or something like that. But they're doing the Champions League first, so we're not going to watch that. There's no point.
Champions what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even Man United aren't interested in that anymore.
No.
Apparently, the Manchester Ship Canal flooded today from all the Man United fans' tears. But this is like kicking a team like Man United when they're down, is there? But I had to be careful in case we can get through today. But we'll see. I said they're drawing the quarterfinals, and then obviously home and away. That's open now. It's not as it was for this round where it was pre-decided because we had to qualify literally, and then they say they're doing the semi-finals at the same time so they can plan it. What are your thoughts just finally on the final being in Albania?
Well, it's next door to Greece, isn't it? Albania.
Yeah,
quite a poor country. Probably could do with a bit of tourism boost their economy. So
yeah,
why not?
No. I mean, they said on the website that it's quite apt that it's a new competition going to a new country for the first time, and you're going to have to travel somewhere. At least it's not in Russia or anywhere this time. But before you go, and I forgot this earlier, you've got some things that you think might go to a good home.
Yeah, I'm having to clear my roof space out because I've got to have a new boiler, so I've got to board it all out up there. So I've been clearing out, and I found some old programs. So if anybody's out there who wants a load of old from about 2000, 2002, 2003 season, there's just one of them here. There's about 20 of them. They'll just put a box in the roof space. If anybody collects programs and they like them, just drop us a message on Facebook or something.
You're on Facebook. You've got a website, haven't you? Because you do all the good art as well.
Yeah. I'm on Instagram, Danny Harrison Art. So if you wanted to drop me a message on there, if you want, I'm going to the match on Sunday. So if somebody wants them, I'll take them along to the match and meet up with them and give them. So I don't want anything for them. Just I was going to take them to the tips, but I know there's people who do collect them. So.
They do. Yeah, indeed. Danny Harrison Art on Instagram. If anybody forgets that, come message me and I can always point you in the right direction. I think you're going to put a post up on the Facebook group anyway, so that people, I authorize that people can see it. Let's hope it's a little bit easier on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's going to be easy. Brentford aren't a bad
Not
side,
easy. No, they are coming back. Tony's back. He's on form. Ericsson, thankfully, is back. But I just can't be doing with these games where it goes like this. I said to my son, ring me in the morning as well, just check I'm alive. Oh, Andrew, good evening. Popping in just as we go in. Welcome along. For the first time, the French attacks, but the outcome was the same. They lost.
They didn't lose that on the night, did they? Really?
No. I'm not sure you've typed that well. I think if you had a bit of the old falling down juice, Andrew. I don't blame you at all. I'm off to join you now. Daniel, thank you so much, mate, for coming on. I appreciate that. No quarterfinals. It is the European Conference. I'll take it. I really will. It's a European competition. Like I say, we've got nothing left to win at home. We've done it all. So let's start getting Europe now. Yeah. All the best, mate. Enjoy the game on Saturday. I say Sunday, Daniel Harrison Art on Instagram if anybody wants those programs, or look out for the post on Facebook, or contact me and I'll put you in touch. Thanks so much, Danny. Have a good evening and take care and all the best. Thank you very much.
Mate. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye. So who are we thinking we want? I don't. Like I said, I daren't ask for the two named team. I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure. But whoever we get, it's the quarterfinals. This is as far as we got when you think about it in the Champions League. Do something for me. Just do one thing for. If you don't do anything else, please do one thing for me. Will you please go and do this? Sounds like Jurassic Park is coming. Like the video, share it if you're able to, but most of all, please subscribe to the channel. It does mean so much. I'm going to be back 1:45, 2-ish tomorrow with the draw, and then back for the Brentford preview with Ant from Ant's Leicester fan channel later on about 7 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Danny for coming in. Really appreciate that. We're in the quarterfinals. Come on, guys. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye, and see you next time.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.